So my name is Majdi Shammas. My parents are from Syria. I'm born in Prague, in Czechoslovakia. I moved to Sweden in 1979, so I've lived here a couple of years in Sweden. I was 2 years old when I came. And how I got into martial arts is that I started actually doing MMA as early as like 1992. 1993 I started. There was 3 brothers who introduced me to MMA, and mostly BJJ, because we were doing Thai boxing here. So we started training a lot, and at that time there was nothing. And at around 2000 I quit. But I've always been involved with clubs and everything. And then 10 years ago, we opened All Stars.
With Andreas,
Yeah, with Andreas, together with Andreas and some other guys. And we had one guy who was a manager at that time, who was the biggest manager in Sweden at that time. We were doing a lot of works behind the scenes, me and him anyway. And so we had some of the fighters and we had the best coaches. And we wanted to do something that never been done in Sweden, because before everyone was training boxing here, wrestling here, jiu-jitsu here. So we put the best coaches and we put everything under one roof. We wanted to make it a little bit more like America so we could compete with them, you understand? And and that's the way. And we started it, and many people were like, the guys are on a honeymoon. The first year was successful. The second year, they were like, okay, after 3 years, we're going to see they're going to start going down. But the thing is now 10 years later, 10, 11 years later, we're stronger than ever. And the club is going better than ever. And we have lots of UFC fighters, PFL, ONE, Bellator, and Brave, and we compete everywhere. So it's a big professional group. And I was handling a lot of management stuff already from the beginning, but then my partners quit. So everything fell on me. And at the end of the day, all the fighters, I have created a big communication in all of Europe with promoters and stuff. So everyone was coming me for fights, and that's how it started.
As I understand, fighters can live inside the gym, right? So some rooms.
Yes. We have rooms in the gym. Yeah, not in reality, but we can't say it, but we can say it. Yeah, sort of. So they have rooms for rest.
Yeah, because Hamzat told me about it.
Yeah.
As I understand, he lived in the same room
for almost 3 years. I think he lived in the room. So he lived in the room for 3 years. Yeah. So it was.
Could you remember when was first time when you saw Hamzat?
I think I've said that before, but I don't know if the Russian TV knows about this. But I was upstairs in the gym and I heard a lot of noise downstairs, and I came down and I see Khamzat was involved in a scuffle with the 2 guys. And I was like, whoa, stop it. What's going on? And I think he went for some grappling sparring. He thought it was grappling, but it was like sparring MMA, and he wasn't used to it. And something happened and he got really mad. And that's my first encounter with Khamzat. And he calmed down, and I saw in his eyes that he was mad. And sometimes you see when some people have this special look, and I've met a lot of fighters in my life, and he seems to have it, but he calmed down, and we talked, and he talked about who he is and that he wanted to become an MMA fighter, and he was living in a different city. So I told him, okay, if you want to do this 100%, then you're going to stay here. And then he said, okay, I stay here. And he stayed there for 2 years until I don't know when he went back to see his family the first time. So from that day, he stayed in the gym. I told the coach, I said, hey, listen, there is a guy, he has a wrestling background. He seems to be very tough. I told Andreas, and he said, okay, tell him to come 10 o'clock tomorrow. And from that day, it all started. And then the history of him began.
And you understood, at this moment that he had a great future.
No, so the thing is, the first thing I saw was some people you see when they behave in a certain situation, you see when some people are tough, like tough, when you see that originally, like you see in his eyes, they were burning. But I didn't know, like I knew that he was, I heard that there was a wrestler, but nothing more than that. So at the end of the day, I just went with my instincts, and yeah, they proven right. They proven right. He was as tough as I thought, and also he became very talentful because he's working hard. He's working harder than anyone I've met, and I've met a lot of fighters in my life.
Yeah, so, maybe did you have any problems with him? Because he's a guy also calm, but sometimes quite cocky. So he's like a bomb. I don't know.
So problems, you will have problems with all fighters, and every fighter that is special is going to be special in every way. But you adapt. At the end of the day, I know he's from his heart, so it doesn't matter if he has one bad day or two bad days. I've learned to switch off, and I switch on when I know when to talk to him. And but he's been like, you know, some fighters, they can give you trouble. Some fighters want to have big control of their career, and I want to do this, and they know better than everyone else. They know better than the coaches, better than the managers. But Khamzat, like I've never promised anything to him. I've never told him, hey, listen, this is this and that. But I promised him that I will do my best to take him as far as we can go. And that's all you can do. You can never overpromise anything. I can give you the tools, and I can give you whatever I can give you to go as far as you can. But at the end of the day, you're the guy that has to train, and you're the guy that's going to go into the cage. And he's never given me problems about that. He's never, ever from day one chosen an opponent. Like his first amateur MMA fight, I put him against the world champion. In his second fight, he fought the amateur European champion. And in his third, the Swedish champions. So then we turned him to pro because nobody didn't want to fight him. And the first two fights, we had to get opponents and everything to get them to come and pay for them because nobody wanted to fight him. And he got to 2-0. And when he was 2-0, we signed him with Brave. And even in Brave, like if you look at his fight record, his first fight was an unbeaten guy. He was 4-0, very tough guy. The second fight was against a guy that had like maybe 20 fights. I don't know. So, and the third fight was against Ikram, who's a beast. And we all knew that. But so you understand that we have put him to the test a lot of times. We didn't like pick and choose for him.
Yeah. When I ask you about problems, I mean problems in his life. Maybe he fought in the streets or something like this.
Of course. At the end of the day, he's a normal human being and very tough. And if you come and insult him or do anything that is inappropriate, he doesn't think like, hey, I'm a superstar. I cannot, like, he's very impulsive and he's going to react and you're going to understand if you do that. So it doesn't matter who it is. He doesn't fear anything. He's like that. And I think, like, it's the thing when people talk, how can you say like that? How can you say you're going to kill this guy? You're going to kill this guy. If you take that mentality away from him, he's not the same. So he can, in his mind, and in my eyes too, he can kill everyone. Nobody can beat him. So this is the mentality we're going to have all the way. And if it's going to cause problems on the way to go for his goal, which is the belt, then he's going to end up in problems. And we have to deal with it when they come. We can always talk, Hamzat, be careful, don't do this, go this way. But at the end of the day, if somebody piss him off, if somebody say, hey, he can react to any guy. Somebody say, hey, you cannot beat this guy. He's going to say, I'm going to kill this guy. This is his mentality. You cannot take that away from him. And it has nothing to do with disrespecting any other athlete. If he says, I'm going to kill Kamaru Usman, I'm going to do this and this is who he is. This is who he is. So, yeah, but of course, everyone ends up in problem, but we try to solve everything as good as we can.
Is it right that you was a manager who signed him to UFC?
No, it was at that time. It was me and Ali we were co-managing him at the time. I had him his whole career, and at that time it was me and Ali who was handling him. And I saw that there was a pullout in Abu Dhabi, and me and Ali we spoke, and we say I think it's the right timing to put him in now, and we got him in. Like, so, I found out that there was like John Phillips was fighting, and his opponent were injured or something. So I took up the phone and we called, and then that's how we got the fight.
As I understand, he now Khamzat doesn't work with Ali.
Yes, it's correct, but he's always been with me. So like, it's nothing that anything has changed or anything. We've been together from day one, and that's about it.
Yeah, because many talks about situation between Khabib and Khamzat, and after Ali cut Khamzat from his team. So
no, it's like the thing that happened between Khabib and Khamzat is another of these stories that I told you. Some guy says something to Khamzat, and Hamzat react to that guy, and in his mind, that's how he answers people. But it has nothing to do with anyone personally or attack anyone personally or something like that. That's not who he is. He's just like, he's a man. And when you attack a man like that with that integrity and say, hey, this guy would beat you, this guy would do this, then he's going to respond. And sometimes it comes out wrong, sometimes it comes out right, or sometimes, but this is who he is. He's not hiding of who he is. And if you ask him, can you beat this guy? He's going to say the same thing to you also. Like, this is who he is.
Yeah, I was in Las Vegas when Khamzat wrote that he retired. He had healthy problems or something like this. What was your emotions in this moment?
He was like, at that time, he was very emotional because Khamzat without training is not himself. Like, he gets very irritated. And this was a situation where he was alone and he had a lot to think about. And they were giving him strong medications at that time, the UFC. And at the end of the day, he went and he tried to train too early. So in reality, he just went back too early, and he thought he was okay, but he went back, and then he failed in training, and he started coughing blood. And in his mind, he was like, is this the end for me? And then he was emotional and impulsive, and he wrote that. And I was sleeping when this happened, and I woke up and I had 500 messages like, what is happening? And I'm like, relax, guys. Take it easy, from media, from everyone, and this is also some things, like he goes and writes something on social media, it becomes a big thing, but he don't care about that. Like, he doesn't think of him to be that. He doesn't understand sometimes how big he is in the world.
Yeah, because we talked with him when he had maybe 16,000 followers. And after he had millions, and I said to him, Khamzat, be careful. Now you're a big star. You don't need to write something bad words or something like this.
It's the same. It's the same. He talks with you. You talk live on Instagram. He talks like it's a conversation that he don't understand, that there is million listening, and some people record the clip, and then it's normal chat. If they would record all the things that me and him say, or me and some other people say, we would also be like, it wouldn't look good all the time, because sometimes you have to be able to talk, but he can talk like this, and he has nothing to hide.
Yeah. So after his retirement, so he had surgery, as I understand. Maybe big surgery, because many people talks that doctors maybe cut something from him or something like this. Yep.
So he was heading back from America. He was getting treatment in America, and then he came back, and then he went to his home country, where he also got excellent medical help. For everyone's sake, it was like amazing. The help he got was like it was out of this world. And they did like a total examination of him, and they also found a cyst in his throat.
Yeah.
So he had a cyst that was blocking the nerves. So he wasn't even 100%, even when he was 100% in our eyes. So they also removed that, and they helped us a lot. And for that, I will always be grateful. I will be grateful for the help that UFC provided, and the help that his country provided, of Chechnya, provided a lot of help for him. So I want to thank them a lot for fixing this. And it was very pivotal for his comeback. And you saw how he came back after that. So
yeah,
we will forever be grateful for what they did for him.
So now he recovered full. So no health problems.
110% recovered.
Yeah, great.
And they will all find out.
Where are another guys? Why only Gilbert here?
What? Why only Gilbert?
No opponents for Khamzat.
So at the end of the day, the UFC knows what they want. They know who they have. They know that Khamzat is a star, and they're gonna choose who they want to fight, and we just trust the process. So we're just gonna wait and see what they have in mind. And Sean Shelby is an excellent matchmaker. He knows what's best, and so I'm just gonna wait for them, and they decide. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who. I've told the UFC, there is no man alive at 170 pounds that I will say no to. Not as long as Khamzat breathes, he will not say no to any man alive. But then it's up to the UFC who they want to match him, what they think is the best business offer for them, what is best for their organization as well. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to fight everyone. And this is Khamzat's mentality. But if Khamzat could choose, of course, he wants Kamaru Usman next. And if the UFC would give us that, we would gladly take it. But it doesn't work like that. There is also a business side.
He wrote about Kamaru Usman in this year. Is it real to happen?
I mean, if we get Gilbert now, don't see him making out of the first round once again, unfortunately. Many people can say, oh, you're cocky, you're that, and you're that, but I see him. But at the end of the day, Alex did an interview and he said, I can't see them take his punches. They can't. They cannot. Not at 170 pounds. They cannot. And the first time he connects with Gilbert, I believe it will be the finish of that fight. And what is there left after him?
Maybe winner Masvidal Covington and the next title shot.
Yeah, but like Masvidal and Covington, that would be like they say in quotation, a money fight. And same with Nate Diaz. But at the end of the day, Khamzat's mentality, he said to me from day one, the fastest way to the belt. Okay. Gilbert is a very fast way to the belt, so we're very happy with that match.
Okay, so as I understand, Khamzat now is one of the guys of highest paid in the UFC now. Is it right?
No, he's not the highest paid.
No,
he's not the highest paid yet.
One of the.
But I can tell you, after the next fight, we're gonna have to sit down, and it's gonna be like he's paid very good after where he is in his career at the moment, and after the next fight, probably they will give him what he deserves. They know his value, and I trust them, and I trust that they will know who he is, and they will. Every guy who deserves, they're gonna treat them after that. If your guy is a winner, but only a winner in the cage, sometimes it's not enough, and we all know that in this business. But if your guy wins and he does everything else correct, then they pay you after that. So it's no secret that people like Nate Diaz makes good money at the end of the day. It's no secret. It's no secret why Conor is making that money. It's no secret why Jorge Masvidal is making that money. He's interesting, even though he's losing. He has lost like, I don't know how many fights, but at the end of the day, he is a money machine. And I believe that Khamzat is absolutely there already, but there is always going to be this, but he didn't beat anyone top ranked. And after this fight, all these conversations going to be over, and people going to know, and they're going to pay him after that. I think I trust the process.
When people talking that Khamzat is a new Conor McGregor, is it correct?
So he's definitely not a Conor McGregor. If you talk about fighting wise, to be honest, I don't even think it would be competitive if they fought. It's not even competitive. And maybe one day Conor is going to say that he's going to fight Khamzat, but I truly don't think so. That wouldn't be wise. But we would happy take that fight, of course. I wouldn't say no. But if you talk like what people say, they can say he fights like he's very outspoken. At the end of the day, he's outspoken, which is not so normal for people from that region maybe to be. So maybe that and the way he fights, he's backed it up with the way he fights, has made him so big. So he becomes like interesting. You understand? He's unique. He fights like he is from that part of the region, and he acts he's very outspoken. He's very confident. And there is a lot of people from the region that are very confident, like from Russia or Kafkas, but he's not only, he's special. From day one, Igor, he's handled his interviews by himself. I don't do any script. Of course, sometimes I tell him, say this, say that. But at the end of the day, it's him. It's him. So when a reporter attacks him and say, hey, Khamzat, you talk too much. And he answers the reporter, say, you talk too much. You answer me question, I answer you. If you don't talk, I don't talk. And that's the truth. And so this is who he is. And that's why he is a superstar, and everything comes natural. He fights like a superstar. He acts like a superstar. He does everything correct. And I support him all the way.
Yeah, he chooses now welterweight, but how about maybe middleweight, maybe light heavyweight? Can he do it?
Igor, he don't train with welterweights. This is number one.
Yeah.
I don't put him with welterweights. I can't. I've never seen any welterweight who can come and like be competitive. It's not. So I get afraid. If I watch a sparring with him, I get afraid. So I rather put him with Alex, with Ilir, with Jimmy Manua, with these guys, like from light heavyweights to heavyweights, because then I feel confident that, and he can handle all weight classes. But we are focusing on 170 pounds because we want the belt. And after that, I promise you, if they give him a fight against the heavyweight champion or the light heavyweight champion, I promise you he will take that fight. And I promise you he will do good. He will do good, because there is a lot of light heavyweights that he's training with. And I think if you ask them the same question, they're going to also say, yeah, I believe him.
Khamzat against Ngannou.
Oof, what a fight. But like, he likes to test himself. It's crazy. I know that like there was one time, one very, very big champion. It's like 130 kilos. I don't want to say his name. He came to our gym, a wrestling champion, very strong MMA, competes in the biggest organization. And the first thing he says to me in the next round of sparring, he said, I'm going to go to him. And I'm like, hey, Khamzat, be careful. He's 50 kilos heavier than you. Have respect. No, he just went after him. And he wants to challenge himself. And if he would be in Las Vegas and he would see Ngannou on the mats, I'm very sure he's gonna go and test himself, 100%. So
yeah, not bad. Khamzat, talking to me many about his mother. Have you met with his mother?
I haven't met her yet, but I hope to do it one day. Like everything, at the end of the day, one day we hope to be able to get them to Stockholm where he lives, buy them a house or an apartment. But we're still in the beginning of his career. But I would love to meet her. I would love to meet all his family. I know his brother very well. His big brother Arthur, who has very big influence on him in a positive way. And me and Arthur, we talk all the time, every week, 3-4 times about everything. So I have good contact with them, and we are a family, all of us.